Hello Texas JSA, my name is Fabiana Rincón and I'm running to be your next ACR Mayor. I am a sophomore at Alamo Heights High School and I'm running because I love Texas JSA and have vast plans for our region. Taking part in such an amazing organization has given me the unparalleled opportunity to have my voice and ideas heard. I recognize the existing talent in our region and will work to consolidate it from the very stem, while also being a firm advocate for expansion. I will be focusing on 4 particular aspects throughout my term: organization and communication, expansion, activism, and fundraising. One of the most profound changes that will be made to our region is the institution of chapter conferences, which will allow for more extensive communication between chapter presidents and render effectively in the incorporation of new members into our region through the smaller conference that will aid in acclimating to the JSA environment before being submerged to the large state conferences. Additionally, a pivotal aspect of our organizing our region is increasing effectiveness all around is updating social media pages, which as of now are relatively obsolete. Communication between chapters is fundamental for an organized region, and hence my plans to connect chapter presidents and elected officials through a messenger group chat is pivotal. This is comparatively a simple change that will greatly impact how our region is managed. With organization follows expansion. My plans for expansion are ambitious yet achievable. I plan on expanding JSA to areas such as, but not limited to, Austin and El Paso. I have an extensive plan to achieve this. While expansion is substantial, maintaining the strength of our existing chapters is fundamental to maintaining a strong region. And this is why I plan on fomenting JSA involvement through feeder middle schools. Another great part of my platform is activism. Our elected body works extremely hard, and I will make sure that we constantly recognize them for their hard work. I also plan on increasing activism involvement throughout our chapters, whether it be by recognizing those who have achieved great things for the community, or JSA, or by incentivizing existing JSA activism activities to increase turnout. My platform's last aspect is fundraising. I know JSA can be expensive at times, and sometimes it inhibits our members from participating in our region. As your mayor, I will work in collaboration with chapter presidents alongside elected officials to publicize scholarships and remove finances as the inhibiting factor to conference turnout. While my plans for the region are extensive, I am aware that change can't be incited alone, and that is why collaboratively working with the elected body will make all my plans a reality. If you truly want to see change in our region, I am the best candidate. Thank you, and don't forget to vote Fabiana.
Hey Texas JSA, my name is Ansh Jakatimath and I'm running to be your next ACR Mayor. So currently, I'm the chapter president at Basis Chavano, a very genuine and passionate group of people who I've been very lucky to call great friends of mine. I'm going to try and spare everyone and not present the cliche love at first sight JSA story, but rather why I'm running for mayor. As a chapter president this past year, I was put in a position that no other candidate in my field was able to experience. With this opportunity, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I saw the problems and I know the solutions in the ACR, and I can implement them. I'm not going to go over all of my policy because, frankly, that would not be covered in that 3-minute time span that I have right now. And rather, I would like to discuss something that I'd find is equally as important. So I know that other candidates can say they've held cabinet titles and chapter positions like I have. So you probably want to know what makes me so different, special, the right choice. The answer to that question is that I understand leadership. I found out what this truly meant when I attended Fall State this JSA year. After the convention, a chapter president from last year, Adam Rangel, a really good friend of mine, told me that he felt more proud of our chapter than ever before. I asked him, was it because of the high attendance that we had, or was it the high involvement of our members in cabinet and debates? He said it was none of them. He told me it was the fact that our chapter cheered during the chapter roll call, which is something his administration and the ones before him weren't able to say. I couldn't tell if he was being serious because it's just chapter roll call. But then Adam explained to me how we both, in our time as chapter presidents, could make multiple claims to all kinds of successes, whether it be high attendance, bringing top-notch speakers to our school, or even activism events. But that what it accomplished was far greater than that. That my leadership gave a chapter a heart with unity, passion, and purpose. I have come to realize something really important. Officials, cabinet officers, chapter presidents, anyone can talk about the success and achievements they've had under various titles. But a leader is someone who guides people, who inspires passion in the group and brings a sense of common purpose. My chapter's thunderous chant during the chapter roll call was a lot more than any success or achievement. Because when my fellow members stood proudly for our chapter, their impact was bigger than any legislation or event. When each member cheered and expressed their passion for JSA, they became part of something. When my chapter cheered, the group felt love and commitment towards JSA. When the group feels a connection to this great organization, JSA as a whole becomes more loud, more determined, and more capable. Because of that passion, those members might become the future chapter presidents, governors, mayors, senators, whatever it may be. And when they do so, they inspire others to do the same and strive for success. Leadership expands the boundaries of what is possible, and it means a lot more than any campaign promise a candidate can offer. I know the other candidates will explain their passion for JSA and the number of titles they've held in the past and their platforms, of course. But I'm here to offer you something different, and that is my leadership. So I ask you to vote not for a conventional ACR mayor, but rather for the leader, to vote for a leader. I am sure that I can provide that to you. Give me the chance to really bring some change to this region, and I'll make sure that you won't regret it. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome to my TED Talk. Hey JSA peeps, I'm Benjamin Aguayo from the San Marcos High School chapter, and I'm currently running to be your next ACR Senator for the Texas JSA legislature. I would do a phenomenal job as your next ACR Senator due to many qualities I possess. I'm very hardworking and I take initiative. For instance, I get involved in the political process, and I've worked as a poll worker for the previous 2 elections. I can also communicate effectively. I know how to work well with others, even if I disagree with their beliefs. One of the main principles of JSA that makes the organization so effective is the cooperation found within. I firmly believe that I have the ability to effectively participate in this cooperation and to work with others towards the common goal of maintaining Texas JSA in the excellent state that it is in currently. My platform is based off of creating transparency between the inner workings of JSA and the average member. The initial part of my platform is to publish all contact information for all senators, mayors, and administrators by region onto the Texas JSA website. This will allow members to easily access their local representatives to voice their opinions and to be aware of the legislative change occurring. And I'm currently in the process of making this a reality by collaborating with Branimir Gore, the base's Chevron campus representative and the ACR Senator candidate, on the Constituent Communication Act for the House of Representatives this session. I would also write a bill to publish all past legislation onto the Texas JSA website as well. Unlike the Texas JSA Constitution, this information is often not accessible for members to access, and doing this would allow members to be aware of changes occurring in Texas JSA. This will also help Texas JSA legislature more accurately reflect the actual state legislature found in the state of Texas, whereas they publish all their past bills for the general public to view. The tertiary part of my platform is to introduce a bill that would clearly define where the 4 Texas JSA regions are located. This will help aspiring chapters be aware of which region they identify with, or they should identify with, and which representatives they're supposed to contact. This will ultimately help Texas JSA grow as a whole by helping clear up confusion for new chapters. Ultimately, I envision an ACR region where effective communication occurs between everyone in the region. I want members to be aware of what goes on with the legislature, with the legislative process, and as the ACR Senator, I would love to be transparent with my JSA members, my peers. I desire communication to be effective such that the ACR region may be able to organize events such as chapter cons that would engage JSA members and allow them to voice their opinions about the issues that they care about. As ACR Senator, I would work tirelessly to see my vision for the ACR region become a reality and to create positive change that the ACR region has been waiting for. This is Ben. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Hello, my name is Daniel Brown. I am running to become the Alamo City Region Senator, one of 2. And just a few things about myself are that I go to St. Mary's Hall. In my JSA chapter, I am the activism officer, so I kind of control everything to do with activism, and my biggest activism project this year has been focusing on child labor in the chocolate industry. And I think that maybe not focus on that, but I think something that we could focus on as a whole JSA would be having a joint activism project, something that everyone can be a part of. And I think that that is a good way for JSA to move forward and a good policy of mine that I have. I think also communication is key in all of life, and I think that JSA could work a little bit on that. I think that mayors need to have more direct communications to higher up, and I think that everything could just be improved a little bit in communication. So I think that's something that I would definitely work towards if I was elected as your Alamo City Region Mayor. And that's just a few things that I would love to do if I was elected, but I have tons more slated, and I think that I could be a great representative for the Alamo City region. Thank you.
Great leaders are elected for their experience, ambition, and goals. Having 2 of these is easy, but people with all 3 are hard to find. I chose to run for Senate because I believe I bring valuable experience to the table, ambitions for a greater JSA, and goals that remain impactful yet achievable. As your senator, I would work to make the ACR and all of Texas JSA a more inclusive, democratic, and open organization. As a founder of my chapter and the youngest person to ever join JSA, I have come to experience so much that this amazing organization has to offer. I went to my very first convention and had my very first debate during the beginning of my 8th grade year. As a rising junior, that's 4 years of JSA experience most other candidates don't offer. As my chapter's representative and the very first representative to ever write and pass a bill in Texas JSA, not only do I have the ambition to help our state become stronger than ever before, I also have significant experience working with senators, representatives, the big three, and ordinary JSA members from all chapters to make laws that better your JSA experience. Being an expansion agent not only gives me credibility for the office of senator through the communication and collaboration skills it fosters, but it also helps inspire the purposeful work with pragmatic goals in mind. As a senator, I promise to pursue expanding the reach of the ACR into Austin, creating new chapters and helping existing ones grow and develop. I plan to write legislation that would bring the power of JSA back into the hands of the people, including bills and acts that would increase accountability for elected officials, create remote systems of voting, mandate direct lines of communication between ACR officials, and help regional officials find assistance with their responsibilities in office. Another goal I have is to assist in creating a statewide guideline to help mayors and administrators plan regional conventions, along with working with my fellow senators and activism department to create issue-specific activism projects. But perhaps my most important goal is to create a system that directly represents your voice. As senator, I wish to create a regional cabinet with representatives from every single chapter in the ACR for direct communication to work together and better represent the opinions of our JSA. Most of all, I want to work with you and your chapter to help us reach our full potential together. JSA has given so much to me. Give me a chance to give back. You won't regret it. Want more? Vote Gore.
Hey y'all, I'm Carson Wolf, and I just want to start off by saying how excited I am to have the opportunity to run for your mayor. So, as you all know, nowadays is a really, really important time for politics and the future of our country. Trust me. And I totally understand how frustrating that feeling can be where you can't control what's going on. And we don't have a say in what is going on. But that's exactly why I'm here today. I am here because of all of you. And everyone that I've met through this organization, all the teens who share the same ambitions and interests as me, that's what gives me hope and encourages me to keep going. I believe that we can be the future of this country. And I see potential in each and every one of you. I see ambition, I see talent, and I see passion. And with those things, we will change the world. We will become future Congress members and senators and presidents and world leaders and whatever we want to be. And not only that, I believe we can be the president of this country. We have the ambition, we have everything we need. We are just waiting for opportunity to come to us. And that is why I'm here. I want to bring opportunity to you. So why me? Why vote for Carson Wolf for mayor? Well, here's why. I grew up in the film industry, talking and networking with adults, these powerful, kind of intimidating adults, don't get me wrong, but it was important for me because it was either sink or swim. And this is a skill, this networking, this communicating and connecting with people is something that's so crucial to the office of mayor, and I can bring that to you. I can bring opportunity to all of us. Guest speakers, Q&As, internships, everything. I want to bring all of these to JSA. I want to, because I see something in every single one of you. And I know what it feels like to have to get your name out there, but not know how to. Trust me, I've gone through that. And that's why I want to help you all. I want to help you succeed and realize your potential. So thank you very much, and vote Carson Wolf. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Dian Yu. I'm a sophomore at St. John's School, and I'm so glad to be running to be your next GCR Mayor. I was first introduced to JSA when I was a freshman, and I immediately fell in love with its mission to fight political apathy and get students involved in government and politics. I've always been very passionate about politics, but an organization like JSA that fosters a space for people to have conversations about politics and learn about other people's opinions truly grabbed my attention and ignited my passion for JSA. I was so excited to attend my first ever convention, Fall State 2018. It was absolutely amazing, to say the very least. It was then that I decided that I wanted to give JSA my all and get as involved as possible. That's why I became publicity agent through the mid-year cabinet applications that year. I became the vice president of the St. John's JSA chapter, and I immediately applied, then attended JSA summer school at Georgetown, which made my summer one of the greatest summers of my entire life. I've always been very passionate about activism and community service as well, which is why I currently lead many activism and service projects throughout Houston and outside of the United States. I'm running for GCR Mayor because of my passion for JSA, and I truly believe that I can definitely help strengthen the GCR by increasing activism, ensure smoothly run chapter cons, and strengthening chapters themselves. With that being said, I'd love to introduce y'all to my 3-part platform. My platform focuses on 1, chapter strengthening, 2, activism, and 3, chapter conventions. My plan to strengthen chapters involves having monthly chapter checkups, an opportunity for chapters of all different sizes all across the GCR to come together, share advice, and check up on each other, having chapter evaluations filled out by each member of each chapter, increasing publicity within each chapter, and having other ways of facilitating dialogue and increasing communication between chapter presidents like group chats. My plan to increase activism is to instill activism projects at the chapter level per semester, having ongoing projects for each chapter to do on a regular basis, and also promoting publicity and having project reports. My plan for chapter conventions involves having a wide range of chapters coming together and hosting chapter cons together and using the publicity department's publicity resources to increase turnout and get as many people to know about these conventions as possible. I can assure y'all that I'll work my absolute hardest and give all of my dedication and commitment to make the GCR the best that it can be. Vote Dian Yu for GCR Mayor. Thank you.
Hey JSAers, my name's Omar Busaidy, and I'm excited to be running for your next Gulf Coast Region Senator. For those of you who don't recognize me, I was Bernie Sanders during the presidential debate at Fall State.
Better education, we must have a revolution in this country, and it starts with candidates like Bernie Sanders.
First, I want to thank my campaign team for working tirelessly to make my campaign possible, and all the JSAers around the GCR who are supporting my campaign. The election is fast approaching, and it's vital we get Texas JSA moving again. JSA lost $1 million because of the ongoing pandemic. COVID-19 has brought JSA to a standstill, disrupting chapter cons, spring state, and our funding efforts, not to mention the devastating effect it's had on our families and communities. If elected, I guarantee that we'll hit the ground running and put Texas JSA back on track. There are 5 candidates running for GCR Senator, so it's important you know what each candidate stands for. To read more in depth about what I stand for, visit my website here or click the link in my Instagram bio. There's a lot of work that needs to get done. Voting for me guarantees we'll take care of the problems that need to be taken care of. But there's more specifically 2 things that separate me from the other candidates: what my track record is and what I stand for. So first is my track record. I'm gonna get things done because I'm the only candidate that has sat in a Senate meeting. What that means is I've seen bills get passed firsthand in the Senate and understand what it means to get those bills passed. The bills must be relevant, feasible, and enforceable. My comprehensive platform details exactly what bills I would pass, why they need to be passed, and how they would be implemented. That's why I'm the only candidate that has been endorsed by the well-respected former Speaker of the House, Evan Finley, and 3 GCR senators, among others. My platform represents a promise that you can be sure will get done if elected. But the second thing that differentiates me is my platform and the ideas I'm pushing. Throughout my campaign, I fought for 4 issues: increasing transparency in GSA, giving you more scholarships, increasing representation of the people, and spicing up elections. If I'm elected senator, I'll give you more access to the information that only those in cabinet have. JSAers are often kept out of the loop. The bills I propose will keep you informed and hold the elected officials accountable, increasing transparency in leadership. If I'm elected senator, I'll increase scholarships for you. Small and underprivileged chapters will get more financial aid and be more active. If I'm elected senator, I'll increase representation of the people by supporting online voting every year so that those who can't come to Spring State can still vote. Lastly, I plan to spice up elections by pushing for candidate debates so that voters stay informed while being entertained. Voting for me ensures that real change gets passed, so hop on the hashtag #BusaidyBus and vote Omar Busaidy for GCR Senator.
Friends, JSAers, and GCR constituents. This election season wasn't the easiest. Hurdled by COVID-19, I, along with all the other candidates before you tonight, were met with a variety of challenges. Nonetheless, in true JSA fashion, we persisted. Though the fight is not over, we have made it to elections, and it's time for you, the people of Texas JSA, to choose your next leaders. But regardless of the results, we are all part of the same great effort to make Texas JSA a more welcoming, open, and connected place for all. We are in this together, as a national group, as a state, and as a region. Together, we can unleash both Texas JSA's and the GCR's full potentials. To provide all members of Texas JSA with an active voice in the Senate, engage and inform, and make JSA a more open and constructive place for all. This simple motto is what inspired me to embark on this uphill fight. I believe that every member of not only our region, but every region of Texas JSA deserves an active voice, deserves to be informed, and deserves an open environment. If you'll elect me as senator, I'm going to work tirelessly to provide these three fundamentals to you all from day one. At the heart of any successful organization is the ability for individual members to perform it and shape it however they want. Now, I believe that every member of JSA is capable of doing so. I've seen the talent, the dedication, and the attitude of many members throughout my JSA career. Yet unfortunately, many members are still uninformed about the Senate process. Stay connected was a motif of my campaign, and as GCR Senator, it would be my utmost priority to ensure just that all, not just some members of Texas JSA are connected with the Senate process. I still stand by the fact that joining JSA was among the best decisions that I could have ever made. In my short time in JSA, I have met many great people, been introduced to many incredible opportunities, and became a better advocate and a better citizen. Because of this, I owe much to JSA, and I'm running to pay it forward to such a great organization, and to make it a better place not just for the current generation, but for all future members of JSA. One day, I hope that will be the same thing to a freshman as Dominic Beck, the former governor of Texas JSA, was to me. I hope that one day I can leave a lasting legacy on this great organization. And I hope that one day, a once timid freshman will be able to stand and make a speech about how JSA has shaped them. And I certainly hope that the people of the great GCR region will consider me in being their next senator. Thank you. Stay connected. Vote Frazier 2020 for GCR Senate.
Howdy Texas JSAers, my name is Sam Johnson and I'm running to be one of your GCR Senators. Over the past few months, I've been coming up with a series of ideas and solutions that not only fit Texas JSA's needs, but are effective and achievable. I have solutions for a plethora of different things, but most importantly, communication, expansion, and chapter representation. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about communication. At the status quo, we are only able to change a few things every single year, and that's because of how little we collaborate with each other. One of the very first bills I would pass as a GCR Senator would be one to open House and Senate meetings to JSAers for the House and Senate to collaborate more with each other, and for updates on what has been passed to be posted on the Texas JSA Instagram and website after every fall and spring state. It is absolutely ridiculous how little the House and Senate collaborate with each other. In fact, the first bill ever passed by the House was done just last year. Our legislature would not only be more efficient in passing bills, but more would come to the floor that benefits JSA than ever before. This would provide a fast track towards making the legislature more useful and creating a better JSA. Next, allowing JSAers access to the House and Senate meetings gives JSAers more of an idea on how our legislature works. What I want as a GCR senator is for the people to learn the fundamentals of what it takes to be a good senator. And one of the only ways for that to happen is to experience it firsthand. Now let's get into the meat of all of it. Expansion. It's no secret that expansion is nowhere near as effective as it needs to be. This is because we aren't using all of Texas JSA to its potential. Currently, Texas JSA includes Arkansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Louisiana, and of course Texas. These states have some of the highest student activism rates in the country, yet we haven't done anything to take advantage of that. My plan for expansion out of Texas includes conducting activism projects in those areas, focusing more resources and attention on expanding our borders, and partnering with already established clubs in those states to allow for new connections to be made. We must really break out of our shell and rise to our full potential so we can become the great region we need to be. Last but certainly not least, chapter representation. Right now we give small chapters the bare minimum of attention. We don't give them a voice, meaning that barring a miracle, they aren't able to grow. One of my flagship plans, the Small Chapter Caucus, I believe will allow the small chapters to have a voice. First started as a small idea by JSAers in the MAS, I believe what I have transformed their plan into will change Texas JSA in a great way. This plan entails that every small chapter gets a representative to the Small Chapter Caucus, and they will decide on the most prevalent issues barring small chapters from growing. These issues will be presented to the Big Six and legislature in order for a small chapter's needs to be finally met and heard. Finally, small chapters would be given a voice. Thanks for listening. Be the people and vote Johnson for GCR Senator.
Hello, fellow Texas JSAers. Firstly, I hope that you're all doing well, being safe, and practicing social distancing amidst our current situation. As you might know, my name is Nishanth Kadiyala. I'm currently a sophomore at Carnegie Vanguard High School, and I just always love participating in debates and activism and other such activities. And for this reason, I've been an active participant of Texas JSA ever since my freshman year. Currently, I'm a sophomore, and I am a debate agent in the cabinet, and I learned a lot through my JSA experiences. And using these experiences, and because of them, I've decided to run to be your next GCR Senator. I'm determined to take action and to help make JSA a more interactive, inclusive, and overall a more consolidated organization, using my strengths of responsibility, creativity, open-mindedness, and decisiveness. I truly believe that I have what it takes to bring Texas JSA to the next level. I've compiled an extremely comprehensive platform, complete with 16 various topics of interest, alongside with 25 different legislative proposals. And these topics of interest each include a detailed analysis of the status quo, a logically derived improvement of the current situation, and an explanation to each solution I propose. Some of these initiatives that I propose include, but are not limited to, creating a small chapter committee so that we can unite smaller chapters together to give them a larger voice in Texas JSA government, reducing costs for smaller chapters, and heavily encouraging chapters to individually fundraise for their conventions, to upgrade and improve communication across the board in Texas JSA so that regional governments have better communications with their citizens, with individual chapters, and so that individual chapters can have better communication within themselves. Also to revamp activism totally by encouraging more activism-related events, and to also make debates more creative and open and unbiased. Overall, I just want to make JSA a more tightly knit organization and create more of a tightly knit JSA community. And I promise that as Senator, I will do my best to bring all of JSA together closer through legislation. Whether you're a cabinet member, a high-ranking officer, or just a regular JSAer, you are an integral part of our organization. I'm guaranteed to help make each and every individual member of Texas JSA more connected to our government and to ensure that our government works for y'all. Your actions matter, and as Senator, I truly will make it my duty to unite the people of Texas JSA and to take us to the next level so that everyone feels that they can make an impact on our organization. So for these reasons, I urge you to please consider voting Nishanth for GCR Senator the week of April 13th, because a vote for Nishanth is a vote to inspire, engage, motivate, energize, and most importantly, be the people. For more information, please visit my Instagram page at Nishanth_4_Senator or my platform link at bit.ly/GCR Senate. Have a nice day, and I truly look forward to this election season.
Hey Texas JSA, this is Vedanth, and I am a junior at Bel Air High School, the largest chapter in the entire GCR region, and I am running to be one of your next GCR Senators. Under my tenure as chapter president, Bel Air has sustained high levels of growth that it has experienced in years past. But in fact, this year, we saw an upwards of a 15% increase in the amount of members in just Bel Air JSA. Now, there are a lot of people running for GCR Senator, so I wanted to make your decision as easy as possible. Thus, I give you 3 areas where I excel in and that the other candidates don't do nearly as well in. The first is experience. In my sophomore year, I worked as a debate agent, so I got to see how the inner workings of the debate department worked, and I also got to see how they contribute to giving us a better convention. But I think the position that makes me the most qualified and the most ready to be your next GCR Senator is being the chapter president of Bel Air High School. Here, I was assigned a CI agent, an activism agent, and a fundraising agent, so I got to see how the different departments work together in unison. But more importantly, I got to see firsthand the problems that each department faces. On the chapter level, I got to experience what kinds of problems that chapters face each day, whether it be trying to pay a car wash to get enough money for transportation, or trying to bring in a speaker to better educate ourselves about the worldly issues. But lastly and most importantly, I have experience with JSA on the legislative level as I was part of the House of Representatives this year. I got to see how our legislative process worked, I got to see how to write bills, and most importantly, I got to see the problems within our legislative process. I have experienced the problems that exist at the chapter level, the state level, and the legislative level, which makes me uniquely adept to combat these issues and solve them, which is just one big reason why you should vote me for GCR Senator. The second is going to be because of my ideas and my platform. And great ideas are really good, and I'm sure the rest of the candidates have very good ideas, but I consider myself a realist, and when taking a look at the platforms, the only candidate's ideas who are truly feasible is mine, and here's why. Many of the other candidates propose legislation that talk about things like activism and convention, but that's not what a senator is responsible for, and not where we have the most power. My platform is dedicated to improving the legislative process, which is exactly where the senator's word is most effective and most beneficial. The final reason as to why you should vote me for senator over the rest of the pool is because my platform is dedicated to putting the power back with the people. In my platform, I outline 3 initiatives: communication, convention, and clarity. These 3 initiatives all go to one goal: putting the power back with the people. Remember, an organization made by the people should be for the people, and my proposed legislation does just that. For example, I propose that on any social media platform, Texas JSA release the past and failed legislation so our JSAers can know what kind of changes are being made within their organization. For more information, please check out my platform. In the end, I leave you with this. There is only one candidate on this non-existent virtual stage whose ideas are both beneficial and realistic. To get the best of both worlds, I highly encourage everyone to vote for Vedanth. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Bo. As a freshman heavily involved in public speaking, I've always wanted to voice my opinions to bring changes I saw as essential. As I became more involved with JSA, I quickly fell in love with this activity. Now, I'm a proud citizen, wishing to voice the sentiments of people not only from Jasper, PMC, or our state, but the entire student body of JSA. That's why I'm running for PMC Senator, because I have a plan that will tackle the problems of JSA through a 3-pronged approach: communication and participation, cabinet, and most importantly, representation of PMC. Now, our JSA organization spans throughout one of the largest states in our country. In order to have pivotal student participation, communication is key. CIA and expansion agents are just a couple of important actors that I've consulted with in order to have my plans make lasting implications. And when talking about cabinet, it's important to see the small details that frame our organization, because each step that they take is a blueprint in building the future that shapes our country. Technological reforms, and student empowerment, and economic aid that looks past the socioeconomic layer of Texas JSA members. My plans for cabinet help the application process, ensuring that anyone who joins cabinet is in the right position to make decisions for this association and the PMC region. Finally, when looking towards representation in conventions and PMC equality. Now, this is really important to me, and hopefully for those who are voting, because as I went to my first fall state, I realized that schools from PMC aren't getting the delineation that many other schools have obtained. My plans of smart voting reforms and systems, economic uses of expansion, and surveys that allow regional leaders to voice their own concerns are here to allow everyone to be the people. Now, I'm not just giving you a mere promise, because my plans are accurate, specific, and action-based. And as Isaac Newton once famously formulated, an object at rest tends to stay at rest unless acted by an unbalanced force. I am the push for JSA and for PMC. Now today I only have 3 minutes, but with your help, we can bring JSA a year of prosperity, and hopefully more. Now, we need to stop just giving out chances. It's time for a change. And the first step is to go for Bo.
Hi, I'm Charles Ho, the current chapter president of Jasper High School, a debate agent for Texas JSA Cabinet, and an overall team captain for the Jasper Speech and Debate team. Now, as you can see from the 4 people running for PMC Senator from my school, the members of Jasper JSA have an unprecedented passion for this organization. Yet it wasn't always like this. As a freshman and sophomore only school, just 2 years ago, Jasper sent nobody to any state convention, and last year we only sent 3 people to state convention. Now, this is why, as a chapter president this year, I made it my personal initiative to expand PMCs and expand Jasper's representation at the state level and increase member participation as a whole. And I'm proud to say that thanks to my management and leadership skills, I was able to get 16 kids to go to fall state this year, expanding Jasper's participation by 533%. Outside of chapter cons and outside of conventions, I also expanded Jasper's activism initiatives, worked with other members of the debate department to introduce new debate reforms and online debating, and I expanded Jasper's participation at the local level, including at PMC Chapter Con. Now, as a senator, I hope to not only pass legislation like the traditional senator, but also to work personally with other chapter presidents as well as the PMC administrator to get my reforms and my plans for the future across. I have a few important key areas of reform for the PMC, with the specific goal of putting the PMC or the Panhandle Metroplex County first. I will increase representation, improve access to transportation, increase awareness of reforms and litigation, and improve planning and growth at the local chapter level to ensure that all of the schools in the PMC, even ones that don't have chapters yet or ones that haven't been declared as chapters, to expand and increase their representation and prominence within Texas JSA. Now, a lot of the other candidates want to pass reforms and even help other chapter presidents within the PMC. But frankly, actually being a chapter president and understanding the process and bureaucracy behind the chapter president role is critical to actually being able to pass legislation and work with other chapter presidents to improve the PMC as a whole. Since I'm the only candidate in today's field that actually has experience serving as a chapter president, I'm the only one that has the experience to back up the ambition. Now, at the end of the day, you might still be wondering, out of this diverse field, who to vote for and who's actually the best candidate. So I'll leave you with this. Ambition, proven success, and drive to make the PMC a better place is what actually makes a candidate better. And since I'm the only one with the proper experience to ensure that all of my ideas get across to the rest of Texas JSA, it's imperative that you make the right choice. To vote Charles Ho as your first choice for PMC Senator.
Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Lederer, and I'm beyond thrilled to be running to be your next PMC Senator. Currently, I serve in the Texas JSA Cabinet as a member of the CIA, acting as a chapter internal affairs agent, and I go to Jasper High School in Plano, Texas. There are a couple of reasons as to why I believe I should be your top choice candidate. First off, my comprehensive platform. Just to be upfront with y'all, all of the different problems and solutions included in my platform have all stemmed from numerous conversations that I've had with members of the PMC and with JSAers across the state. There are 3 major cores of Texas JSA that I seek to reform using this platform: representation, convention, and communication. Now, if any of you have any questions or concerns regarding my platform, feel free to reach out to me. But if you want a more detailed explanation of the nitty-gritties of my platform, be sure to check out my Instagram page, my Facebook page, or my website. But Kyle, what makes you the best candidate? My answer is that even though I have not been elected yet, I have already had detailed discussions with other senator hopefuls from around the state and with Big Three candidates, and we have reached consensus and agreement on many of these issues, showing that if I were elected to be your next PMC senator, I would actually be able to pass the legislation and ideas that I have in mind, which I think really sets me apart from the other candidates. But the second thing that I really want to talk about is the public support that I have received from leaders across PMC and around the state through the form of endorsements. Just to handpick a couple, I've received an endorsement from Angela Wang, the chapter president of Plano West Senior High School. She also serves as the National Director of Activism and is the current PMC Senator. But it doesn't just stop there. On top of that, I have also received an endorsement from Allison Powell, the chapter president of Seagoville High School, and an endorsement from David Tang, the deputy director of the CIA, and among others. But I think this really illustrates the wide-reaching coalition that I've been able to develop. My message has been able to spread from my home school of Jasper to Plano West to Seagoville and all the way to Belair High School in Houston. The last thing that I want to address is my intense passion and determination for JSA. From the get-go, I have been driven to make JSA a better place. And if I were elected to be your next PMC Senator, I would continuously fight to make sure that your voice is heard. For the people that already know me personally, that's not too hard to believe. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope that I have earned your support. Remember, letter is better.
Hi, I'm Christopher Emmanuel Lorde, and I'm running to be your representative in the Texas JSA Senate. I'm a freshman at Jasper High School and a debate agent for Texas JSA. While you might know me as the British guy, I hope soon enough, the PMC can know me as the candidate who has their vote. I hope to fight inaccessibility for JSA participants and advocate for the wishes of every single person across this organization. I joined JSA at the beginning of freshman year, mainly because my chapter's account followed me on Instagram, but also because I knew that this would be a solid place to put time and effort into. When I went to my first convention, I immediately fell in love with the organization, but I noticed one other thing too. So many people who want to get that amazing convention experience simply don't get the opportunity to. Conventions might be too costly, too far away, or sometimes just starting a chapter has so many roadblocks. In the PMC alone, I've seen numerous examples of talent and passion lost because of it. That's exactly why I wanted to run. My chapter had 16 people go to 4 states, but at Winter Congress, that number dropped to 3. And I know that that wasn't from a lack of commitment. I've seen wonderful and talented speakers who simply weren't able to make it to JSA conventions, or even start a chapter to do so. From what I'm seeing, the Panhandle Metroplex County is one of the best examples of cross-chapter unity, not just between the chapters, but between the people too. JSA is all about the people, of the people, by the people, and for the people, so we need to grant the opportunity so that everyone can be the people. As your senator, I hope to break down the barriers of inequality and expand that opportunity to so many others. We're strong in our unity, but we can be even stronger in our numbers. That's exactly what my platform is uniquely equipped to tackle. Through the USA platform tenets: understanding, simplicity and support, and accessibility. I truly believe that I can make a change inside this organization. If we utilize understanding, make sure the new chapter presidents and ordinary people inside this organization have a solid idea of what's going on. If we make it more simple to participate, support those willing to, and if we make sure that this organization is accessible as possible to all of those who want to have their voices heard and have that opportunity of being the people, we can truly meet our motto. JSA has an accessibility problem, and that's exactly why I'm running, to tackle that very issue. JSA is a place where we can be the people, and I aim to fight so every single person who wishes to has that exact opportunity.
Hey guys, my name is Eric Ryan, and I just want to take a little bit of time to let you know who I am and why you should check off my box when voting for PMC Senator. So first, who am I and what are my qualifications? Well, to start, I'm a junior at Plano West Senior High School who is heavily engaged in the activity of speech and debate. I joined this activity less than a year ago, not really knowing anything about the activity or anything related to it. And so out of this lack of knowledge, I just started learning as much as I possibly could so that I could become a greater part of the speech and debate community. Later, I was able to qualify for massive tournaments, such as the Harvard National Forensics Tournament, the Texas Forensic Association State Tournament, while winning a variety of local tournaments in the process. But throughout all of that, I heard about this organization called JSA. It's a common organization that rung throughout the speech and debate community. Out of interest, I tried to find out what it was. And after about a day of Googling the program, I decided that I would join. Little did I know that would be one of the best decisions I would make in my high school life so far. Just 2 months after making that decision, I was off to attend my first convention. And I immediately loved the concept of fighting political apathy through a variety of debates, political discourse, and through meeting people with different political beliefs throughout our state. It was with these goals in mind that I decided I wanted to become a larger part of the JSA community. And this is the primary reason I am running for PMC Senator. Our platform is based off of 3 primary tenets. The first being fairness, the second being transparency, and finally, knowledge. To begin, fairness is an essential aspect of any organization based on equality of opinion. And the unfortunate truth is that JSA is suffering a lack of fairness right now. Currently, larger schools are able to dominate any debate room by simply stacking more audience members within the room. Because of the just process of having audience members vote for speakers in the first place, they can just stack a room by having someone that every single person in the room from a certain school trusts. And so they vote for that person regardless of what happens in the debate. And so you have this voter bias that essentially limits the amount of productive discussion that can actually happen within debates. To solve this, I'm instilling a simple rule that limits the amount of power a single school can have in a certain debate. More on that in my platform. Second, we need to increase transparency so that the higher ranking bureaucracy of JSA is able to be understood by our new members and people who don't really know much about the program. Finally, we need to enhance this by spreading knowledge through a simple online course for all new members, allowing them to further become a part of our community. With these reforms, we can definitely make JSA a better organization for every high school student looking to improve their political standpoints. I'm Eric Ryan, and that's why you should vote for me for PMC Senator.
Good morning or good evening, fellow JSAers. I'm Lorde Marquez from McAllen, Texas, running to be your next Rio Grande County Senator for the 2020-2021 school year. I started off JSA back in September of 2019, about a month into my freshman year at Achieve Valley College High School. I was never that much involved in politics until I did join JSA. I discovered my passion and my dream career while attending JSA in my first fall state convention. I remember my first convention was at the Idea Quest College Preparatory in Edinburgh, Texas. There I got to meet some people I really enjoyed spending time with, one of which was Jessica Cisneros, a local politician who ran for Congress. I wouldn't be here without one of my good friends, Alexa, who is from the Idea Quest chapter, and also a candidate for the RGC Senator. She has told me many great things about JSA, and I couldn't thank her enough. As I got more information and input with my close friends about whether or not I should run, I ended up running. So, doing dual enrollment at my high school, I am majoring in political science. I feel with this experience, as well as my many years in JSA yet to come, I will make a great senator. Getting back to my campaign, I am running to be the voice that many people do not have. I know that with my dedication, hard working attributes, and passion for politics and JSA combined, we can achieve great things, not just within my area, but also all parts of Texas. I feel as if we need more representation among each other. I personally will go out of my way to make sure everything in my capacity is full to its potential, and to make sure everyone's experience in JSA is completed and onwards. With many people on my side, I believe we can achieve great things, not just with us, but with everyone outside of JSA. As an idol of mine once said, I didn't get into politics because I wanted to become president, senator in my case, but I got into politics because I care. I care with all my heart that everyone deserves to be heard and acknowledged no matter what, and that everyone gets the chance at this opportunity to their full potential. Everyone is a person, which means everyone is counted to be heard, seen, or treated like a human being, despite any race, skin color, or religion backgrounds. Thank you so much for watching me talk about my campaign and my experience in JSA before I ran for senator. And I wish my fellow candidates very good luck and have a good day.
Hey RGC, my name is Alexis Zabat and I'm running to be your next senator. In my freshman year, I was peer pressured into joining JSA, so sitting through that first meeting brought unfamiliar feelings. I was incredibly shy, so engaging in debates and discussions were really out of my comfort zone, and I wasn't interested in politics, so I didn't expect myself to genuinely enjoy JSA. Regardless, I've made the effort to be an active member throughout that year because I thought it'd still do me some good. And I was correct, but what was least expected was the intensity of my passion for this organization. Just ask my chapter, my friends, or literally anyone who knows me. They immediately connect me to JSA because I never shut up about it. And especially since this experience has allowed me to grow from a quiet and apathetic freshman to a politically active teenager, why wouldn't I? The thought of a youth-led organization that aims to fight political apathy and ignite activism, all while promoting unity regardless of our different political beliefs, was simply astounding. I mean, what other organization executes these aspects like JSA does? But despite the countless perks, JSA is not exactly perfect. Although my first state convention, Spring State 2018, was an overall amazing experience, something had felt off. Amidst all the fiery blocks, visibly energized JSAers, and the free water in the hotel lobby, lingered an uncomfortable feeling, especially after witnessing an overwhelmingly large number of non-RGC kids dominate the convention. And I'm sure many of y'all have felt that too. And that's where I immediately realized that we were the underdogs and have been for the past years. As a misrepresented county with only 3 CIA chapters, all outreach chapters, only 6 out of the 80+ cabinet members are from the RGC, and we travel at least 6 hours to every state convention, we are at a big disadvantage, and possibly the most disadvantaged in Texas. However, as your senator, I don't want anyone to go through that predicament ever again. After countless conversations with countless JSAers all over Texas, I formulated my platform to center around 4 points: representation, engagement, unity, and transparency. Through these, I will pass legislation and work for everyone to have our voices heard, spark and maintain productivity, resolve polarization between all members, and connect leaders to other JSAers, ensuring that this organization fulfills its promise of being the people. I've served as Quest Secretary, Publicist, and House Representative in the state legislature, an agent of last year's Fair Elections Committee, and Texas JSA's current head of videography. But being your next senator means I can do more for you and your time in JSA through a more systematic change. When you fill out your ballots, remember, I am running for you. Thank you.